Hi everyone, it's me, Sarah Hall here, and today I wanted to share some guidance with you for your inner spiritual healing work. Today, we're going to talk about positive affirmations. What are they? How do they help us? And how can we actually get them to work for us? Stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing guidance from the angels on why positive affirmations don't work for some people, why they do work for others, and how you can make sure that they work for you. So, just a quick crash course to begin with. Positive affirmations are statements that you can repeat in your mind, spoken out loud, or even by writing them down. The point of repeating these positive statements is to program them into your consciousness and thereby also into your reality. How this works is through the law of attraction. Essentially, the law of attraction states that like energy attracts like energy. So if you hold positive thoughts within your mind, they generate an energy that matches that positive thought and attracts like positive experiences to it. For example, you might practice repeating an affirmation like, I love myself. I love others. I am loved by others. I experience love in this world. You repeat these words in the affirmative as if you're describing a state of being that already exists, and thus you allow your mind, body, and spirit to react likewise, generating the energetic frequencies of experiencing love in this world. As a result of doing this regularly, the positive energy that you're generating and calling to yourself becomes sustainably ingrained in your spiritual energy field. And you start attracting experiences of love in all that you meet, in your relationships and so forth. Sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? And yes, this process really does work. However, if you've practiced positive affirmations and they haven't worked for you before, there is a specific reason why, and you can overcome this block. But first, you need to understand how these positive affirmations really affect spiritual energy. Number one, energy flows in repeating patterns and rhythms. First thing to know is that just like with your mind and your body, your spiritual energy field loves to function in cycles, patterns, and repeated rhythms. That rhythmic, patterned, habitual flow is a part of how life's forces work. Let's picture it this way. If during a wet season, the rainfall follows a particular pathway of flow through the earth, eventually it will carve a kind of riverbed into the ground. The deeper or greater that imprint or watery carving, the easier and more suggestible the water will be to keep flowing through that same path. And even in a dry season, when perhaps that riverbed is all dried up, you'd still see the carving of the water's path in the earth. Your spiritual energy field is the same way. Thoughts all carry their own specific energy. And the more often you think a certain kind of thought, the more deeply etched its energy will become in your spiritual energy field, easily collecting universal energy to generate more flow and more impact through its patterns and pathways. Number two, energy is constantly creating as it interacts with you and the universe. The energy that all thought forms carry is also highly creative. That energy is constantly interacting with energy out in the universe, harmonizing with it in ways that cause certain events or experiences to show up in your life and create more of the same kind of energy. You could almost think of this in the same way that we think of our microbiome. Our bodies have a microbiome, which is an ecosystem of bacteria that are friendly and crucial to our health. The more we eat foods that support and feed our good bacteria, the more of a home they assert within our bodies, rooting into tissues almost the way that a forest roots into the earth. The more those friendly bacteria thrive, the more they're able to create and attract optimal conditions to keep thriving. That way, even if an unhealthy pathogen finds its way into our bodies, the microbiome bounces back and holds its own. Something almost identical occurs within our spiritual energy field and consciousness. The more we feed good and empowering consciousness, for example, the more their energies attract and create conditions that help that consciousness to keep on thriving. The energies associated with that level of consciousness then root into our being and form energetic pathways that habitually and sustainably anchor their benefits and creative forces into our lives. Number 3, beliefs are the foundations of your consciousness. All the thoughts that you think, every perspective you hold, is firmly rooted within a belief. Your beliefs about yourself and reality play the most powerful role of all in creating your experiences. The reason why is that your beliefs are the birthplace of all of your thoughts, perspectives, words, actions, and choices. Your beliefs thus generate creative energy and direct the law of attraction more powerfully than any other thought form you'll hold. Beliefs are the enduring fixtures in your inner realm of thought. They are the structure holders and definers of what thoughts and experiences you will and will not be able to access. So, with these facts in mind, let's talk about why positive affirmations don't work for some people. In the same way that good thoughts create an ecosystem of good energy that strongly roots and reinforces its power into your life, the same is true of negative thoughts. If you've held a self-defeating or limiting belief all your life, then that belief has likely given way to many thoughts, words, choices, and actions that match and reinforce its energy. So when you decide one day to start implementing positive affirmations, what happens is that those positive affirmations end up pushing up against your past negative patterning, creating a kind of conflict of energies. Now, this conflict, when it comes to inner spiritual healing work, we actually want it to occur. In other words, we want positivity to start breaking down and dissolving the deeply carved pathways of past negativity and pain so that you can make new conscious pathways. But when that conflict of energies occurs, there's always going to be a clear winner at the end. Who's going to win? The positive affirmation or the past negative pattern? Well, that is either going to be left up to whichever energy is more strongly rooted and reinforced, which in this case means the negative pattern will win, or it can be up to you. Because if you actively and consciously engage with making changes in the foundations of your consciousness, your choice, your free will choice will determine which energy wins out within you. You see, when positive affirmations don't work, 99% of the time, it's because you're holding a conflicting, deeper belief. You may affirm, I am safe, I am well. But if deep down you don't believe that and have spent your life patterning your consciousness after that belief, then the positive affirmation won't win out against the deeper belief. So, how do you make positive affirmations work their very real magic for you? You must face your deeper beliefs and change them. Clear out beliefs that conflict with the positivity you wish to create within and around you, and replace those old beliefs with new ones that do support the positive reality that you wish to create. Here's the process I have learned over many years by working with the angels to heal my clients for how exactly you can achieve a shift in beliefs and experience the magic of positive affirmations. Number 1, face your shadow. The first step is to face, discover, and know yourself. Get to know what you're holding at a deeper foundational layer in your consciousness. We often refer to the deeper layers of our consciousness as our shadow because it's usually the part of ourselves we are unconscious of, just in the same way that we're not usually aware of the shadow that we cast on the ground when we're standing in the sunlight. Often we're unaware of shadow because it is cast in a direction that we're not looking in. We as human beings tend to mostly not put much energy into looking at the parts of ourselves that make us feel uncomfortable. And it's exactly in those places that we ignore where unhelpful beliefs can be rooted. Any good gardener knows that you have to tend your garden if you want the good plants to grow. That means you have to go into the garden often. You have to be able to identify which plants are the weeds, then do the work to pull them out at the roots so that the good plants have space to thrive. Here's a simple exercise that you can do to face your shadow. Get quiet and meditate. You can close your eyes. You can place your hand over your heart if that feels good, and just take a moment to breathe deeply and bring your awareness into the present moment. And then with your focus on your heart, tune in and directly ask it, what beliefs do I hold that I need to release in order to experience the healing changes that I want to create? Then listen for the answer, trusting everything that your wise heart tells you. Your heart is a treasure trove of wisdom and information. And because you are one with the divine source, your heart has access to the heart of the all. That means you can access all the wisdom of the universe through your own heart. If you find that you have trouble with this step, that perhaps the fear of facing old beliefs is blocking, distracting, or derailing you there, then just meditate. Meditate and witness your own being for a time in stillness. Witness yourself. Ask yourself, how do I truly feel? Then witness your feelings. Observe what they are, what they're related to, and where they come from. And send them perfect non-judgment. Release attachment to them and hold the perspective of compassion and kindness towards them as you witness. And then affirm, it is safe for me to see and know myself. Keep practicing this regularly, and with time, you'll learn more and more about what beliefs that you hold in your foundations. Number 2, engage the power of your will. Your will holds incredible power to create at all levels of being, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So once you've taken inventory of the beliefs that you've been holding in your foundations of your consciousness, use your will, choice, and intention to clear the beliefs that do not serve you. You can do this by facing those beliefs, facing the experiences, memories, feelings, or thoughts they are attached to, and by affirming, it is my will to no longer hold this belief. I choose to heal this. I release and forgive this belief now. Practice aligning all of your presence, focus, and energy into that choice. A strong choice can make a big shift for you so long as you unite all of yourself with that choice. This is why it's important to examine all of your beliefs, because sometimes one belief can be attached to another. So if you use your will to release one fear-based belief, but it's still connected to another fear-based belief you're holding on to, you actually have to release both so that one doesn't resist or block you from clearing the other. Make sure that there isn't a part of your mind that is splitting its focus, holding on to one negative belief while the other part of you is trying to release a different one that's connected to the other. That would be just like pushing down the gas pedal and the brake pedal in the car at the same time. Instead, unite all of your mind, focus, energy, and intention under one will, the will to be whole, well, and in a consciousness of love. And number 3, plant good seeds. Once you clear limiting beliefs, you'll want to plant in positive, expansive beliefs that help you to hold space for the positive affirmations that you practice. For example, if you hold the belief, I am an unlimited being, I can create, experience, and manifest anything upon which I set my heart and mind, then this belief will support everything connected to it. If you want to affirm, I'm manifesting my dream job, then the belief of I am an unlimited being and I can do anything supports that. A step I encourage my clients to take here is to call upon the angels to help them to discover and plant in beliefs that are rooted in divine truth. An example of this would be, God is love, or we are all one. These are spiritual truths that universally support you in entering into higher consciousness, in which you're more empowered to create, transform, and manifest. And lastly, number 4, practice makes relative permanence. Now I say relative permanence because, of course, the only thing that is really permanent in this universe is the unchanging, pure consciousness of Source's presence in all. But for the purpose of making sustainable life changes that you can benefit from in a relatively permanent long-term way, practice your inner spiritual work regularly. Remember, energy works in patterns, rhythms, and cycles. So the best way to create a new pattern is to practice it regularly. Just in the same way that if you wanted to learn to play the piano, you might practice scales regularly until they were programmed into your muscle memory, and you could do them unconsciously and effortlessly, even in your sleep. So too can you master being in a state of higher consciousness and well-being by practicing holding on to that state regularly. Some examples of spiritual practice include things like meditation and mindfulness, practices that essentially help you to expand your consciousness and become more aware and disciplined in the mental plane, rather than allowing your thoughts to pull you around from here to there unconsciously. Another practice you can engage in is regularly talking to your heart. Face your deeper psyche regularly. Ask your heart what is in it, what it needs to tell you, what you can change or do to maximize your intentions. You can do this through quiet reflection, or another great way is to practice journaling regularly. And of course, practice your positive affirmations regularly too. If you follow all of these steps, you won't just be repeating them on the surface level of your mind, only for them to get lost in conflicting deeper beliefs or blockages. Instead, you'll be changing your consciousness from the deep inner beliefs part and from that surface vantage point of your regular conscious thoughts at the same time, and maximizing the transformational power. Thank you so much for watching this video, and of course for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell below. I hope you enjoyed these messages and that they will help you on your spiritual path of inner healing and self-empowerment. If you'd like to work with me and your angels, of course, on your spiritual path, then feel free to click the link that I left below for you in the description to learn a little bit more, and we can have a chat about your goals and what transformation you would like to accomplish. I also left you links for us to keep in touch on social media and would love to hear from you there. So don't hesitate to drop a comment either below right here around this video or on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing from you guys and learning about how these messages are helping you to make positive changes in your life. Thank you so much again, and know until we meet again that you are so loved and so very blessed.